I had a comment about drip irrigation. Someone wanted to know if drip irrigation, did it make sense for a beginner to have drip irrigation, because the idea of having a machine do all the work for you instead of a beginner getting out here and learning how to do everything. Now here's my personal experience with drip irrigation. I don't have a completely automated drip irrigation system. It's about as it's semi-automated. The whole purpose of drip irrigation is to evenly water the garden, not to replace me getting out here and working the soil and doing the gardening stuff. So here's how mine work. Faucet, you have the splitter, so that's free. Backflow stopper, filter, going to a straight old good old fashioned hose pipe, or garden hose for all you guys up north. And this goes to the garden, and each I'll tell you what, let's just go on up to the upper end of the property and show you exactly how this works, okay? Okay, so we're not too far from an oak tree, but here's the distribution end of my drip irrigation system. I love that burnt orange or that marigold there. That's what I like to really see, that really nice burnt orange. But anyway, the hose pipe. So I've got 3 raised beds. I got this one, I've got pots here, then I've got two big 100 square foot raised beds behind me here. Don't feel like turning around particularly, but each one of them has a raised bed distribution exactly like this one. So in other words, it's not like everything's hooked up on the same system and all I got to do is flip a switch and it automatically waters everything all the time, and I don't ever have to come out to my garden to see what the heck's going on. That's not how I've got my garden designed. I want to be out here to see what's happening. It doesn't mean that simply because I have a drip irrigation system that somehow I'm just relying on a machine to do it. The truth be told is that if you're gardening organically, the whole point is that the garden's supposed to take care of itself, right? There's a reason why I have all this organic matter in my soil, so that if I don't water it, guess what? It retains enough moisture and it works. That's exactly what's happening here. But specifically for watering, and I don't water every day. And anyway, I showed you the end down there, and I've run this up. This is up a slight hill, probably 75 feet away. Just a regular garden hose, and this goes to a pressure reducer, 25-pound pressure reducer. Probably would use 15 or 20 if I could do it all over again, but since I'm going uphill and you're going to lose pressure anyway, it really doesn't matter much. Pressure reducer, the reason you need that is because this can only take about 15 or 20 pounds of pressure anyway. And what's coming out of the house, it might be coming out of the house at 80 psi, and this is only 20, just blow everything apart. And so I take it and I screw it in here. This is an adapter. Okay. And then I just water it. So while I'm weeding and picking out all these oak trees that are trying to come up and doing all this other work here, it waters. And so let me show you, let me go back down to the property here, turn it on, and show you exactly how this works. Drip, drip, drip. All the way up. Point of distribution. Like I say, I can do my weeding here. I'm learning what's happening, doing my weeding, all kinds of stuff. And while I'm doing it, guess what's happening? It's being watered. Drip, drip, drip. And guess what? This was a little bit, it's leaking there, but I guess it's not much of a problem. So I need to replace the washers in it. Looks dry on the surface, but that's fine. Turnips bolting out. Marigold's doing fine. And all the amaranth is finally coming along, which I'm very proud of. Very, very proud of, very happy with. And that's how the drip irrigation system works. Now, if you've ever wanted a drip irrigation system, but just never really wanted to have this fully automated thing, but you wanted something that's going to help you water the garden evenly and all, I've got a free drip irrigation ebook that's free to download, no subscriptions, no nothing, on my website. I'll put a link to it here in the show notes or whatever down here, and just direct link to it. You can just directly download it. It has all the parts you need, everything. And then also below that link, I'll put a link to my Amazon affiliate link where you can at least go and get some of the parts from Amazon, from the company that I buy these from. Okay, and let me know how that works. I don't really water every day. I've got so much organic matter in here that I don't have to water every day, and I'm growing pretty drought-tolerant plants, especially with all this amaranth and whatnot. So it just doesn't really need it. And in fact, I'm probably gonna switch my crop over to almost all amaranth. But anyway, that's a whole nother video. But that's a general overview or review of how I set up my drip irrigation system. Each bed has a distribution point like this, so that I have to physically take the hose pipe, attach it, turn it on, and water it while I'm doing my garden tasks. That way, it's not just an automated machine doing everything. It's actually it's somewhat semi-automatic, you know. It's doing this job, it's watering the beds while I'm doing my garden tasks, you know. Weeding, pruning, whatever you want to do. You know, it can be pruning your tomatoes, whatever you want to do. Plenty of water. And that's the whole point, really. And so, you're not just relying on a machine. Well, you are, because organic gardens are supposed to take care of themselves. They're supposed to have as minimal input from you as possible. This just helps you do that. But it's not so automated that you neglect your garden. A nice balance. And that's what I've strove for with this particular system. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't invent this. There's a lot of farmers, organic farmers, who use a very similar system with, they don't use the pipes here, but they have the fabric roll that rolls up, the tape, I think they call it, drip tape, and they can run them on 1,000-foot rows and stuff, you know, and with the row crops and whatnot, you know, greenhouses and what, instead of just but I think for the average gardener, the line is better, but the system's the same. Every point has, every bed, row, whatever, has its own point of distribution that you physically have to go see what the heck's going on. That's how that works. Check out that ebook. If you're interested in buying, check out the Amazon link. Talk to you later.